The periodic table when you're spelling it. WW, I'm the element of intelligence. Jewelry, phone calls, nails done here with gel in it. Black Jordan 1s with gray princess elephant. Data breaches, your information, they selling it. Snatch your cell, empty your bank account by selling it. My brain ain't looking to examine my skull. The shell of it with chemists making deals about selling it for the cells in it. Popular by demand, shopping options to buy the brand. If you watching this through the gram, click on Shopify when you can. True B-boy, Bruce Leroy, the last dragon got the glow like looking through an Oculus at my hand. So as ops, him and his crew, we Zuzu spinning. Little shots and blew through a Subaru blue tinted. Fubu denim, grew to win, new blue linen. Honolulu swimming, 2 women in Lululemon. We got chemistry. Our talents balance each other chemically. Diagnosed mentally, brains insane clinically. Black and white faces are imagery. Bass, rhythm, and similes will remedy racism systemically. Chemistry. Nights in the studio laboratory to record me. Lab coats and goggles are worn securely. Produce tracks and stories. Your music is crafted poorly. Who do you have before me and Stu in that category? Mixed criminals with hustling. Individuals suffering. Wages not livable. Minimal to nothing. Political corruption. Drugs a mineral or substance. Reaction is destruction. That's called chemical combustion. That's chemistry. Us forming up the perfect formula. She lacks Similac, baby formula for warming up. Lab test results, we give evidence through the speaker. Every line sets a standard like measurements on a beaker. For a nickel, they use iron, copperheads full of lead. Over gold and platinum, lost your oxygen, now you dead. Read the labels, cause you're clearly not as able. Yearly, our theories merely remain stable on the periodic table. That's chemistry. Our talents balance each other chemically. Diagnosed mentally, brains insane clinically. Black and white faces are imagery. Bass, rhythm, and similes will remedy racism systemically. Chemistry. Our talents balance each other chemically. Diagnosed mentally, brains insane clinically. Black and white faces are imagery. Bass, rhythm, and similes will remedy racism systemically. Chemistry.
What's good? What's good? What's good? It's your buzzing cousin Ghost Boogie. Welcome to B-Boys Underground. Man, listen, it's a special edition, and I have to tell you, I turned 50 yesterday, so shout out to me for making it to the 50th chamber or the 5th floor, however you want to look at it. I've died twice. We done did it. So look, we made it to 50. Look, ma, no hands. Shout out to every single one of y'all that have been here throughout this entire thing, supporting me, and we're just now getting started. And celebrating my 50th birthday is a special, special guest. One that I have always wanted to have on this show, and I have to give a tremendous shout out to my bro, Gorilla Strong, for linking us up and making the connection happen and helping set this one up. So Gorilla, everything to you, much love to you, fam. And without further ado, man, we got the one, the only Stu motherfucking Bangas in that house, y'all. What's goody, Stu? How are you, fam? Oh, hold on. Now there you are. You're unmuted. What's goody, Stu? Good to have you, fam.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on. Happy birthday, man.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. We made it this far. Hey, look, man, we got a bunch of people in the house, and salute to everybody that's tuned in live. If you do have questions for Stu, I will try to make sure that I highlight them, and we'll get a chance to get to them in the chat. So don't be afraid to put them in there, and if I see them, I will get them asked. And tell us about, we just got done hearing Chemistry, right? So tell us about that track and how that came about.
So I was getting beats together for Words to work on another project. We had dropped one last year, And I was just trying to find a mix kind of like, soulful stuff, grimy stuff,
Yeah.
just to have a little various, moods to it. And I thought he would sound good on that one, and sent it over to him. And for those that don't know, Words is like a true artist. He's goes back to the Lyricist Lounge show, which was on MTV with
Yes.
Masterful, and I mean they would have dudes like all the other guys. I'm leaving out a bunch of people, but like they would have people like Snoop on, all types of stuff.
Oh,
And
Lear's Lounge was dope as hell, man.
yeah, so I've known about Words for way before, even before I started making beats, like a long time ago. And but yeah, he's a true artist, and he got his wife on the hook. That's his wife in the video on the hook. It was funny when he did the video and he was up. He sent me the what we transfer to upload it, and I was getting. He's like, wait, my wife didn't like the way her part looked. I got to redo it. He's like, I was like, women, man, what are you gonna do? So, but no, as far as working with Wordsworth, I just send the beats, and then he takes it with his storytelling and creative ideas. He's really a creative guy.
That's dope, man. And that whole album is amazing. And that just dropped at the end of January, correct?
Yeah, actually, yeah, January, end of January.
Yeah. And you've got a plan to drop a physical on it, correct?
Yes, we did pre-orders and on CD and vinyl and some clothing. Shout out to all my Brutal Music fam supporting. I've got a good core group of fans that really support virtually everything I drop, which is much, much appreciated. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and they're cool about the pre-order. I like to get the pre-order up as soon as like the music drops, the first song, and they always support and they're patient with me. Vinyl takes a few months to get done, and stuff like that. So I just want to thank everybody that supports what we're doing over here.
Yeah, man. Because I was getting ready to say you have to really with vinyl, you have to pretty much you want to know how much you're getting ready to press up and what the demand is and get an idea so you don't have 5,000 copies of one album sitting in your living room like what am I going to do with all this shit? Yeah.
So I just got to touch on that real quick. I used to press, if I wasn't working with an indie label partnering, I would press stuff myself, and I ran into that a few times. Wasn't sitting on thousands. We would run short runs, but I got to shout out my man Levi from 1332 Records. I've been partnered with him over probably like 6 or 7 albums now, and he does good business, and he covers the upfront costs. He sells some on his own. So shout out to Levi from 1332.
1332. And they can work out and if other people are interested in working with him, is he available for
Yeah, he's on Instagram at 1332 Records. He's always looking for potential things to drop. He's like a vinyl addict, I think. I don't think he'll mind me saying that. So
Hey, look. Yeah, shout out to that. So everybody that's out there that's looking, on pressing up physicals, you can hit him up and make that happen. Because I mean, I don't know about circling back, and we'll use this as a segue because I know you from doing my research. Uh, you started in this game with records, and definitely the crate digging culture and DJing and turntables and all of that.
yes, sir.
But before we get into and start addressing and asking questions about, do you even know how many, and I'll probably say years of your life that you spent total time in record stores digging? Because I already know there's been long 8-hour days, 12-hour days that you just didn't come up for sunlight out of a record store. But I like because but tell me, and everyone here, as we always do about this time, I need to grab that sample.
Yeah.
Tell us, what is your first memory of hip hop? Put us in the room, tell us why it's important, and give us the impact of why it was so important to you and how it set you up to be where you are yourself now as your own independent artist who is sustaining and thriving independently in a culture that everybody's trying to get mainstream supports and cosigns.
Yeah. All the way back, I remember my father listened to a lot of different types of music, rock, jazz, and soul music, classical, and hip hop. And he had Run DMC on cassette, and he had everything on cassette. That's what it was back in the '80s. So I first heard hip hop from him, and I got to shout out my dad. Also, he got me into Guru, rest in peace, Guru, because
Rest in
he's
peace.
a big fan of the jazz music. So he listened to the Jazzmatazz, both volumes, like a lot, and he got me listening to him. And then I would buy the source and read the source, and then I remember they had this service where you could get it was on VHS. That's how old I am, and they would send you 10 videos a month of like songs, music videos. And then I remember where I was, and I saw the video for Mass Appeal, and there was Guru and Primo, and then Guru and Primo, and Primo's cutting up on the tables. I was like, damn, dude, I want to get tables. So I saved up. My dad, I used to work for my father's company doing manual labor, like when I was on break from college. Saved up, bought turntables. I was terrible, but when I went to college, there was this dude that taught me how to. He was this like redneck country dude, white dude, but he was nasty on the tables, like really good. He taught me how to blend, how to juggle, and then I taught myself scratching as best I could. The problem was I did the fader with my offhand and the cutting of the record with my strong hand, where you're supposed to really. I found out later you're supposed to do the other, but anyway, so that's how I got started with the tables. I just loved hip hop ever since I can remember. The beats though is what really always was my thing. The beats like stuck to me. I like it all, but that's really like I wanted to be a part of it, but it's like I'm not gonna try to rap, dude. I'm like a white dude from the burbs, from Northern Virginia. I'm not. I don't have no stories to tell like that people want to hear, and I'm not really good at writing lyrics. So I was like, all right. But this cat that I knew since first grade, got a shout him out, Go Over Chops. He actually did an album with Benny the Butcher and some of those cats that dropped. I can't remember the name. I wish I could remember the name of it. But he got an MPC when we were like 20, 21.
Which one was it?
The 2000 XL.
Mm.
And this dude is just like a smart. You know how everyone has friends that are just like smart? Like,
Yeah.
He's just good at everything. Like, he's just a smart cat. And he taught me. He figured out how to chop samples and program drums like that. And then I was like fooling around with it, but I wasn't making anything that good. And I think I had like the 15-second sampling time. It was even before I upgraded
the RAM.
The RAM. And then I was back home in Northern Virginia because I was going to school in West Virginia on break one winter. I think it was a winter break. And he's like, nah, this is how you chop. You get the loop in, shows me how to. You'd have to like get the loop right to get the BPM, match it, whatever, and then he showed me how to chop on the kick and the snare and the hi-hat too. And then I was kind of off and running on the beats because once I figured that concept out, it was easy. But yeah, so I don't know if that's what you were looking for, but that's really how it goes back to my father playing me all types of music. And then when I first heard hip hop, it was like, I don't want this music's cool, but this is what I want to listen to now. So,
yeah. And that kind of, relates back to kind of my own experience because my father and mother both were big into different types of music, and they and my dad made it a point of a game when I was young, like very, very young baby, like, quizzing me, if I could name the song and the album and the artist before like it came, the DJ announced it and all of that stuff, right? So like I'd memorize all of that stuff and then just constantly staring at his record collection. And I started collecting records and started playing records at 3 years old, and that's the reason why I have like close to 20,000 pieces of vinyl. It's a sick, It's a sickness, bro. Like it was like I haven't purchased anything in over a decade and a half, if not. But yeah, I get it. And that's cool because you got your love for music and your curiosity for music. Now, my father did not like hip hop at all because uh he didn't like the he paid attention to the media and didn't get it, but at that time I don't it wasn't for him to get, right, and I feel you on the fact that you said that, like I'm not going to be a rapper,
No.
right? But with me, I loved the music. I loved DJing, blending, mixing, doing that, putting together music sonically, even did my own time, making beats and stuff like that. And it was just so addictive, like the music side of it, the emceeing side of it, the storytelling and the visualization of and all of that was great. But being from Ohio and really loving the funk sound and everything, all of the great music that came out of that region and in that time period, um I really loved beats and like the sampling aspect of it, and like holy shit, they took this song that I grew up and just made it and flipped it and made it way harder than it. Yeah. So my question to you is like when you got your hands on and so because I was going to ask you, it's obvious that you are a disciple, a priest, shall we say, a royal priest of the Akai family, the MPC tree. Like it doesn't seem like there's anything else that you really mess with besides an Akai MPC, right?
Correct. Yeah. That's my
Yeah,
girl.
you do you do everything, like everything on the MPC and like in their DAW, or
Yep.
do you, nice.
So when I got eventually like the XL, I went through like two or three of those, and they just they start breaking down over time. That's just what happens. So eventually, and then when I had that, I would dump the beats into like a DAW. Like I used Pro Tools, and I would mix on there. And I still have it, the subscription, just in case. For instance, so we had to touch up an album I'm gonna talk about later if we get a chance. And Pro Tools comes in handy. But the one I got the One Plus now, and I had the one before that, and you can just make the whole beat on there, and I can get it banging. I feel like I can get it banging just on there, and I can just dump it, the whole beat and the stems, and so that's kind of what I'm doing now. Everything on MPC.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now, which one are you using right now currently?
The One Plus is the one I got now.
The
Yeah.
One Plus. Now, have you had any opportunity to mess around with the newest one that they just released?
Not yet. I was hoping they would send me one or something because they were like, they hit me up and sent me a bunch of like, here, because they saw me and Young Bangers using them in the videos and they liked it. They were like, they sent us I was grateful. They sent us a bunch of like plugins and sample packs that are like done through them exclusively. But
Yes.
I haven't had a chance to try the new one. A couple of my homies have, and they said it's dope, and I've seen them working with it, but I'm gonna just keep riding with this. When this one goes out on me, I'll probably step up and grab whatever newest thing they got. I like the machines, man. And you can still make it sound grimy. Like people say it doesn't sound the same as like the 2000 XL or the 2000. Yeah, probably not initially, but you can. There's so many things you can do to it to make it still
To
sound.
make it like
Yeah,
deconstruct it and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I was gonna ask you, like, in regards to sound, do you have a preference out of all of them? Was it the 2000 XL, or because I
Oh,
learned
yeah,
I
yeah.
learned on the 3000, and the
Oh, cool.
3000's like was my baby, and
Yeah.
like always
I would
like
say the 2000 XL for me. That would be my all time favorite sound wise.
gotcha,
Yeah,
just that crunchy, like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Just
sturdy.
dirty.
Yeah. Did you ever have a renaissance?
I never had a renaissance. No.
Because you know, it had the ability to, you know, emulate the different versions, right?
Yeah,
And I don't
yeah.
even know if they even support that still, but
I don't know, but this one also has plugins like the MPC 60 and the MPC 3000.
gotcha.
You can put it on each individual track, like kick, snare, whatever, or you
Mhm.
can put it on the whole mix. And
Gotcha.
it sounds grimier, man. Like I don't know, I never used the 60 or 3000, but it sounds. I use it, so
Hell
yeah,
yeah, that's dope, man.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. And is there, you know, when your homie basically showed you and gave you, you know, those little tools, those cheat codes, as I call them, right? Like,
Mhm.
come on, man, give me the cheat code. There's cheat codes. I'm doing it the hard way, and I know I gotta learn it the hard way. But now that I understand how the hard way, there's got to be an easier way to get around this, right?
Oh yeah.
And you got that. Um, at that point, what did that do to you, for you, like mentally, when you started to be able to approach it and have the ability, like, to unlock this world of now I can actually make the things that are up here actually sound with this thing right here. You
Yeah,
know, and
yeah,
what,
man.
tell me about that for you.
Yeah, it's just like the possibilities are endless. And like back then, we were still digging because this was like 2099 that he taught me. He taught me how to chop and how to time stretch. Because when you're sampling off vinyl, it's not on. It's not all like when you get sample packs now, where it's like right on the grid. So
Yep.
you had to time stretch. Certain parts would still be a little off, or you could leave a gap at the end of the chop and mute it. That's one thing I started doing, muting each chop. That way you didn't, because sometimes the time stretch you get a little gap inevitably. You could fix it, but it was even easier this way. Anyways, I'm a nerd. I could talk about that stuff forever, bro.
We're
But
here
yeah,
to we're here to talk about it, man. Like, so seriously, don't like, this is what we're here for. This
all
is what
right,
we're here for, fam.
all right,
Please.
cool, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, like it's just like when you were digging, it's like, oh, I could flip this now. Like I know what I would do with this. Like you would listen for the, because you could see on the record sometimes where there's this space where it would be like you could tell there was going to be like the break of the song, or like anyway, so you would go through each track, listening with it on your. We had a Vestex, like a portable turntable player,
Hmm.
and just it was just like, oh, I could flip this, I could flip this. It's just exciting, man. When you know when you finally know what you're
Yeah.
doing. Yeah.
I mean, because it is. It's like, just think about it. When you're a creative person and you have all of these ideas that are up here, and you know, you're trying to figure out a way to be able to translate whatever it is that you have up here and in here
Mhm.
out in whatever medium it is that you're trying to put it out there. And when you get that opportunity and it unlocks this world, you know, in this a world of potential, and it's like helps direct you towards your purpose. So, you know, you were in college. What were you going to college for?
Oh man, I was lucky to even get into college. I got terrible grades in high school until they put me on Adderall, and then I started getting A's and B's. So I just squeaked into college, but I didn't want to do anything, man. Like I was, I was doing smoking weed, drinking, freaking selling weed, um, just being an idiot. So I had no direction. So but I would the music was the only thing that ever really motivated me at all. That in the gym, and then it was I went for sociology, but I didn't. You can't really do anything with that unless you get a master's degree or a PhD. And I didn't know what I was doing. So shout out for my parents for putting up with me. So they're probably like, "What is this dude gonna do, man?"
Yeah, they were like, all right, we're gonna help him figure it out. But no, that's cool.
Yeah.
So Did they give you any pushback when you said, "All right, this is where I'm going, and this is what's up, and where this is this is the path that I'm gonna
No,
go"?
man, my parents always like were very encouraging. They were just like, you gotta make money, but don't give up on your dreams. So I worked, oh man,
Man,
so many jobs. Like, and I don't thrive in the office environment.
yeah,
I've just never been that good at it. And then so I did have temp jobs, but making beats every night. Like that's all. I was like, I can't wait to get home and make beats while I'm working like a shitty, low paying job. And then I finally started making a little bit of money off the music. And, at first just a little bit, not enough to even pay my bills. And then so I did other stuff like bouncing. I still do that here and there, security. And but yeah, they supported me, man. They were just like, don't give up on what you feel passionate about.
that's dope, man.
Yeah,
And to have your parents of all people to be in your corner supporting you is and has to be one of the most liberating and awesome things that can you can have as a kid. you
yeah,
know that
yeah.
that's the big part. And
It's huge.
speaking of that, like, you're a very proud papa
Oh yeah.
yourself, man. And I'm a father myself. I've got teenage twins, one boy, one girl, and
Oh wow.
they're gonna be 14 this year.
Oh,
And
I love that.
yeah, it's wild, like, the ride and change, because you're going through it too, right? And like, and the folks that don't know, he has a son who is just as gifted and talented, and his protege, Young Bangas,
Young Rangers.
that hopefully we get a chance to do an interview with him
Yeah, man.
sometime here. That we would love to have him on here and
Yeah.
highlight him, because you guys got to check him out. And I was telling my son and daughter watch wrestling with me as well, and I know you guys are huge. I even spotted you a couple of times in the crowd, when you were, like, at some of the TV events. Like, we try to go when we can, when they come in
Too
town.
expensive now though. It's getting too crazy, dog.
Dude, dude, man, crazy, crazy. I hope they get this sorted out, because they are getting very getting out there a little bit. They're smelling themselves a little bit.
Yeah.
But either way, it's a fun thing to do with my kids. And I was telling them, I was like, man, he's got a son who does this, and I said he even makes beats for like all the different wrestlers. And I was like, all of the people. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, man. So yeah, yeah.
I got to
Tell,
shout out MVP. He used to be in WWE's with AEW. Now
yeah,
he's a good dude, man. And
is he?
yeah, man. I linked with him through Paz, who's Vinny Paz. I would say is I consider him one of my best friends, like even outside of music. And then we
He
were
is one of the most illest and giftest MCs out there. Like, and Gorilla Strong. Like, listen, Gorilla Strong. Uh, he's the one that got me. Like, he was like, "You gotta pay it," and I wasn't as deep. I was like, "All right." So I had to listen to every single. I was like, "I get it." And I was like, Vinny Paz, man, he's ill, right?
yeah, he
So
got that voice, and then he's just
yeah,
his
mad
content.
respects to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he introduced me to one night to MVP. I came up to Philly, and we went to it was when MVP was doing the independent wrestling circuit, and we linked up, and man, we went out and got hammered. I got pictures from that night too, and we almost fought a couple bouncers in Philly. And then, but I stayed in touch. We were like rolled up on them, but they didn't. It didn't happen. We didn't fight. And then, but MVP, man, he brought Young Bangers back when he was in WWE. Brought him backstage. He got to meet Cody Rhodes. He got to meet uh, uh, Otis and Chad Gable, a bunch of the Miz, a bunch of other people. And like,
Wow,
when someone does something like that for your kid, man, because I was
dude.
on tour with Apollo Brown in Europe when that show happened. It
Uh-huh.
was at Raw in Boston, and so Young Banger's mother brought him, and I got to see all the pictures. I was just like, dude, I love you for life, dude, for doing that for my kid, dude. Because like,
Hell yeah.
it's just like, wow, man, you know.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. What whenever I have a chance to do anything with my kids like that, it is as a parent, like all I'm trying to do is get them the experience that I wish I could have had or what I would have wanted as a kid, right? And just
Yeah,
trying to get that, like just let the kids be kids, go out there, and if they have an opportunity to meet anybody, like, yeah, man, that's dope. And salute and mad respect to MVP for doing that. I mean, got a
coolest dude,
chance,
man.
got a chance to meet the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and everybody like that, and then Mr. the original Americano.
Yes.
They got some ridiculous. I'm sorry, we could talk wrestling. We're here to
I can
talk hip
talk
hop.
whatsoever, man.
No, and like so you start banging out music, no pun intended, and I want to know like where the idea and the sound and the name for Brutal came from, but also I have to compliment you on your artwork for all of your projects because I'm an old school cat where I would spend hours holding on to the record, the CD case, the tape jacket, reading and just staring at it while I'm listening, right? And like your your album artwork always reminds me of classic VHS artwork, like the classic 80s VHS artwork and even thematic approach to it. Is there, and like, and of course, you can definitely tell the comic book influence as well, right?
Yes, yes.
Uh, you know, I guess that's definitely intentional. And why? And where did that, why is there that link?
Yeah, man. I collected comic books since I was young. Like X-Men, I
Yeah.
subscribed to X-Men. You would get them every month in the mail if you subscribe. X-Men, Wolverine, Spider-Man. And then when I was older and had a little bit of disposable income, I would go on eBay and buy stuff that I wasn't able to get when I was younger, like Punisher and I have so many boxes of comic books. I just love the artwork, man. I tried to draw when I was a kid. I wasn't very talented at it, but I love it. I just love looking at it. And I got to shout out my man Vince Omega. He's from France. He does all my artwork. So if anyone's ever looking, he can really do any style of art.
No
He's
kidding.
really,
He
really,
does it all.
he does everything. And I just happen to like
S-
that style. So,
Salute to him. He's sick.
dude, he's nasty. And he's like the nicest cat, too. Shout out. And I got to meet him on that same tour with Apollo because we went to Versailles in France.
Uh-huh.
And he came out to the show. He's like, that's fam right there. Vince Omega. So if anyone's ever looking for artwork, and he's reasonable on the price, he doesn't break your balls. Good guy right there.
That's awesome, man. And
Yeah.
yeah, mad respect to him for everything that he puts down. Like, do you say like,
No, he comes
hey,
up with the whole thing. He's like, I'm like, this is what it is, and he's like, I have these ideas, and I'm like, yeah, let's do that one, and then he just does it.
shout out to him, man. That's
Yeah,
sick.
man. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. Mad respect because like that was always one of the things that I would just always like when I was looking at all of your stuff and every time that you would release something, it was always eye catching and it was a scroll stopper even in like a digital platform where
Or
it stands out, like visually popping like what comic books, it's the psychological, impact and the way that they use colors to
yes.
get that psychological pop. I mean, it like what was the movie Sixth Sense used it, right? M. Night
Mm,
Shyamalan, very
hmm.
big into comic books and use of colors to signal like things and foreshadow. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So I'm a nerd too, man. Music nerd, art
Yeah,
nerd,
me
all of
too,
it,
bro.
dude.
Me too.
I can geek out about stuff and talk about it all day long, man.
Hell
So how did you start getting linked up with some of these iconic collaborations that you've had?
yeah. So I would say first, I gotta shout out my man, Leeds Edutainment. He's a show promoter in uh, New England area. He would throw a lot of shows at this club called Middle East in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and
Okay.
he would have local MCs. Like that was before, Millie's would do shows before he really was doing his thing with MES from Cambridge. Um, Big Shug, Slane. He was close friends with Slane when I was going to those shows, and he would bring in like an MC like that was big in like underground hip hop from like all over the country, and he would book him as the headliner for each show that he did. And I got to meet Black Poet at one of those shows, and me and him linked up. And I was like, "Yo, I just want to get a verse from you. What's your rate?" I bought a verse off him, and then the track came out crazy. So I was like, "Yo, I want to do a whole project with you." And then we linked up with Brick Records, which was a label in Boston, big in underground hip hop back in like the late '90s, early 2000s. That's that was helpful. And then there was another dude named Kaz. Shout out to Kaz, Derek Castell. He was like, "Yo, I like your beats, man," and like he was on his grind. Like he's just one of them dudes that's a hustler. Like he's a hard worker. He's street smart, and he's good at networking. He's like, "Let me try to shop your beats for you." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, whatever, sure, of course." And the first people that ever paid me for a beat was because of him. It was Sean Price and Rock, Helter Skelter for the Dirt album. They paid,
Man,
they paid me. It was the first time I ever sold a beat. I think it was 2 grand for 2 beats, and I was like, I remember Sean Price said, "We want these beats. We're gonna send you this money you don't deserve. Where do we send it?" I'm like, "Okay, dude. Yeah, I would have worked with y'all for free." I didn't tell him that, but and
yeah,
then
right.
and then Sean Price, man, and then because he was just a cool dude, man.
I
Sean
was gonna ask you, like, what was like? Did you get a chance to interact with him a lot?
on the phone a lot,
Yeah,
and text, but I never got to meet him. But I
good
considered
people
him.
though.
I considered him a friend, anyways.
Yeah,
Anytime I needed a verse, he always hooked me up. After that, we just traded. But the
yeah.
first thing they paid me, and I was like, damn. And then when that happened, I was like, maybe I could really like do something because like these dudes are good at rapping and they like my stuff. So I feel like that means I'm onto something here. And then I met Reef, the Lost Cause, from Philly at a lead show. Worked with him, and that's how I got in touch with Benny Paz through that connection. And yeah, so it's a lot of it's networking. And then like I met Bill through working with Paz, and then yeah, so like it's kind of like once you start working with some people, you just kind of
Network your way through.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And to be able to get that type of respect off of your first, like the people that paid you first, to have them right, and that in itself is an achievement and a milestone. And like you said, that was had to have been like a humongous battery in your back. Like that gave you the, that level up mushroom in Mario Brothers.
yeah,
You got the fireballs at that point. It was
yeah,
like, all right, we're ready to go now, right? And
exactly.
so was there anything that changed in your approach at that point? Like once you got that, like, is there anything that you did to, or that you learned to help, what I'm trying to think of, like, compound your success in the way of like, all right,
Hmm.
I have this confidence now. How can I pursue this more and get strategic and start doing this more?
For me, I would say yes and no. It gave me more confidence, but to be completely honest, at that point in my life, I was still like drinking a lot and smoking a lot, not being healthy, hitting the gym here and there, and I was like not an alcoholic, but I was like partying, and in the streets and stuff, just doing dumb stuff. And when young Banga's mother got pregnant after we had been dating for a little bit, while she was pregnant, I was still drinking a lot. But once he was born, I was like, I quit drinking, and I've been sober for 15 years. And
Congrats. Salute to that.
thanks, man. And then, because like when you have a kid, man, I don't know, man, it just makes you look at everything differently, man. It's like the biggest blessing you could have. And so then when I got sober, because I have an addictive personality, I was really able to channel it in because I'm not hungover all the time. I'm not drunk, drinking, channel it into the beats in the gym. And then that's when it really started. I started to make more progress, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's dope. And I know I can remember the same thing happened. Like I quit smoking cigarettes cold, like just quit cold turkey when I found out that was gonna have kids.
Yeah,
It was
man. I
like,
quit smoking too because you
man,
change smoke when you drink.
yeah,
I would smoke a pack in a night, and then same thing. I quit it. I quit that too.
yeah,
That was rough the first couple of weeks.
yeah.
I'm sure you remember, man.
Oh yeah, you. I get it too. I haven't drank since 2017, but
Nice, bro.
but that was out of health. It was my body just said, "Yeah, you're done." And I was like,
Good
"We're good." All right, I hear you.
night.
You have my attention. I got you right.
Yes.
But shout out to we got Big Weeze in the house. It's one of my co-hosts. What's goody? Salute to you and Dope MC. He works with Jazzo in Kings County Media Group, and Jazz has got new project coming out, and basically they've got tours and everything like that. Weeze has got a new project coming out soon, so be on the lookout for that too. So much love to my bro.
Oh yeah.
Um, Speaking of like your samples, your approach to like your drums, your sound, the brutal music, and like the concept for that, right?
Mhm.
Um, what's your approach to getting that? Because also, not only do you produce albums, make beats, and collaborate with artists and release projects, but you also sell beat packs for producers to be able to purchase through Brutal Music, right? And so if you guys are out there looking for some fresh beat packs, check out my man. He's got them for you on the site, ready to go, nice and crispy, crunchy, dirty, whatever you're looking for. He's got it there. I've checked it out. You can check it out too. But like, tell us about like the your overall approach when you're digging and listening for your sounds, because your sound's very distinct.
Thank you. Just I don't know. When you hear it, you hear it. When you hear what you're looking for, you know it. A lot of like Japanese stuff, a lot of like old soundtrack stuff. Try to find stuff that's obscure as possible. And then over the years, learned how or forced myself to learn. I'm not like a classically trained pianist, but you get the MIDI keyboard and you get your plugins, and then you make your own samples. And with that, I ended up, some of my stuff got used, like Paz had one with Method Man, or used one of my samples. He's used a few of my samples, a few other people have too. So that was gratifying because it's like you created it instead of taking it from someone else's.
Hmm.
So that was pretty cool. But just like that grimy sound, or something that gives you feeling, like one way or another. I can't really articulate it much better than that. Yeah, just when I hear it, I'm like, oof, like gave me some kind of feeling, like either want to, lift weights, fight somebody, or like, damn, that's like just like the emotional, gives you like a feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's kind of how I look at it.
dope. Absolutely. Speaking of lifting weights, and you say like going to the gym is important to you, like And I get that because I've been on a health journey myself. And before I got sick, I was in the gym every day and lifting heavy weights and running and everything like that. And I'm trying to get myself back up into that. And
Yeah, man.
it's taken its time. I've lost 220 plus pounds, but
Oh
we've
wow.
trying to get the like being able to lift heavy weights with like all in between surgeries has been problematic, so I haven't been able to like really build
Yeah.
any type of bulk or anything, just working on cardio and overall core strengthening,
Oh yeah.
because I sat in a chair for almost 6, maybe 8 years, like just straight up, like I mean, like in a room isolated, like 6. So it's crazy as far as how out of your body gets like these muscles that you don't think that you
Mhm.
use every day. It's important, just like standing up, walking, getting out and using it, just those muscles, how quickly those can deteriorate and cause a tremendous amount of issues for you. So you guys got to get out there and move. Stand up, get your steps in, do something to get in there. What is it that you do? Do you have like an approach to like your discipline? Do you have a regimen in regards to how you structure your day? And like what is it like in the is someone that's looking is always looking at advice to improve work life balance?
Mhm.
How do
Um,
you how do you structure your day and do it like your work life balance?
yeah. I try to get to sleep at a reasonable hour if I'm not doing like a security job, which makes me stay up till like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
So but get enough sleep. I'll put it that way. Get enough sleep because that's when your body really recovers. And then I track my calories throughout the day. I pretty much eat mostly the same things: lean ground beef, chicken, rice, eggs, stuff like that. And I just track my protein, my carbs, and my fats. So pretty because that's really like as far as your physique, that's like 95% of it. The lifting weights is big, obviously, but if you don't eat good, then it's not. It's only going to go so far. So throughout the day, I'm tracking, what I'm going to eat, and then I just really try to like. So I know I've got this many nights I've got to do security during the week. Then I got this many days and nights to myself unless I'm taking, young bangers to soccer practice. So I'm like, all right, I'm banging out beats. This many, I want to shoot for this many good beats per day for these days of the week. And just really kind of like in a regimen, just a routine, man. And if I get out of my routine, I kind of like, I don't know, it kind of fucks with my head, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
routine is just, for me, that's what works. I can't, if it gets thrown off, that's when I start getting, it fucks with me, probably more than it should. So I'm like kind of just have an addictive personality. That's why I was always drinking and doing other stuff when I was younger. Yeah, if you channel it into the things that are beneficial to you, you see a big change in your life, work,
Yeah.
and personal life, yeah, and physical, yeah, yeah,
I mean, we're creatures of habit, period, right?
yeah,
And
exactly, exactly,
humans are creatures of habit, and you look at any self-help books or any even spiritual books, they talk about, there's always these types of rituals, and the rituals, whether it be yoga, running, eating, whatever smoking cigarettes or however it may their rituals or habits, and
yeah,
creating healthy habits and creating healthy loops and patterns is definitely a way to occupy yourself from giving time up to things that are unhealthy, right? So yeah, no, I get you, especially when you get thrown out of your, it's like, oh man,
right,
I don't know what I'm gonna do with my day, because it's like it seems like everything's gonna blow up, but it's like,
I
all right,
know.
well, we just gotta roll with it. It is what it is now, you know.
Like, how much did you get hit with that snow last week?
So I'm in Denver. So I'm originally from Cincinnati, but I live in Denver now, and we've had the most mild. I mean, it was in the 70s today, fam.
Nice.
I mean, so it's always, that's the thing they think, a misconception about Denver is that like the winters here is cold, they're cold and snow. No, we're a desert. We're a high desert. So we do get weather, we do get cold that does come through, but the weather fronts are so fast and so rapid changing that we'll have like a day or two of this really intense storm cold front, and then it'll get really warm afterwards, and the sun comes out, like, as we have the most sunshine per capita out of any state, right? And
Nice.
so the stuff melts. Like, we
Yeah.
have very little cloud cover. So the snow doesn't stick around. It's not like uh Cincinnati or East Coast, or where you have gray and the ice is always in. You have all the humidity. It just makes it cold and painful. I don't miss Cincinnati's weather for that at all. I love being able to have sunshine out here and
Oh
going
yeah.
outside and feeling good. Like, you get that boost from the sun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's
We got like 2.5 feet.
I know you guys got rocked.
And it just fucked my whole shit up because I couldn't go to the gym. All these people lost power. Like my gym lost power for
Did
like
you lose power at your home?
Thankfully, no,
Yeah,
we got
thank
lucky with
goodness.
that. My son helped me dig out of it because I still don't have a snowblower, my dumb ass in Massachusetts. But I would
You
go out.
still don't, fam. You
I had
still are
one. I had
thugging it.
one when I first got the house. I had one, but it broke out. It was like a used one, and I was like, I'm good. I'm good. Whatever. I'm strong. Dude.
Yeah.
They called it heart attack snow because it was all heavy
All
and wet.
heavy, wet, heavy, dense,
So
man.
now I go out with I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna buy it in the summer because it'll be cheaper. But I go out with
Yep.
my neighbor out there. I'm like digging, and he's like, "You want some help?" I'm like, "Okay."
Yes, please help.
So yeah. But that threw off my routine, like we were saying. Then it was like, damn, I feel weird now. So
But actually, you got that work in though. Still, I mean, because that's real work. That's
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 real
that's
work.
that's actual, like, what your body was made to do. That's not modern man work. That's
Dude,
real,
dude,
like, caveman work.
an hour of that, and I had to take like a 3 hour nap. It hits you differently. Like I'm not even kidding, dude. It was tough.
It's one of those good naps too, though, wasn't it?
Slept like a baby. Very humbling, shoveling heavy snow.
Yeah, absolutely. Cardio, weights, all of it, man.
Yeah, man.
And trying to stay dry at the same time from sweating and exerting and
Oh
not.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't miss it. It's not as bad. I bet, thank God, I've got neighbors on both sides of me that take care of my snow removal, because I'm unable to do that at the current moment. And yeah, I got some good neighbors too. Got good community around me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to ask you, because and there's so much we could talk about for so long, but of course I want to be respectful of your time. One of the things that I always find interesting with somebody who has had a body of work like yourself and has had an opportunity to be able to work with the people that you have, and or, like you said, you heard Method Man use something that, in a beat pack you made, right? Like, how surreal is that? So, like, what's a moment in your career where you took a risk that paid off, and then also tell me a risk that didn't?
Um. Hmm. Let me think. A risk that paid off.
Yeah, first and foremost, give me the ups or downs, or if you have the if the one comes to you that the one that didn't pay off comes to you first, because normally the bad comes before the good. You know the
Yeah.
you know
Um, damn, I'm drawing a blank here. I would say a risk that paid off.
yeah.
Um, shit. Um, I would I would say yeah. So like, okay, one would be when I approached Bill about doing Cannibal Hulk. I had already worked with Bill on another project for somebody else. I had done the beat.
Salute to Bill, man.
Salute to Bill. Bill's about his business, which I respect, as am I. Like, I'm not moving for, I'm not working for free. And, he's not either. He's garnered that respect. So to get him interested in doing this, we did an album called Cannibal Hulk together. I had to,
Shout out to Cannibal Hawk.
yeah, I had to put up some money on that, but I made it back and then some. And it got me, like, somebody asked in the chat how I linked with Bobo, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the chats too. Yeah,
And then he hit me up because of hearing that album. So now I'm like working with Cypress Hill. We worked on an album and we've got more stuff coming that I can't technically say specifically what it is, but it's very exciting. And then that led to like someone investing a lot of money into my music. So that was a risk that paid off because the amount of money I invested in Cannibal Hulk at the time was a good chunk for me. But Bill came with it. We actually got on the Billboard charts when it first came out.
yes, you did.
Which was like, wow. I could like show that to my dad, like, yo, check it. And he's like,
Made top 200. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
like that's the stuff you can show your friends that aren't into underground hip hop, and they're like, damn, dude, all right. So
yeah.
that was a risk that paid off. As far as one that didn't pay off, I don't take that many risks though. Like,
You're very calculated.
I wouldn't say like I'm smarter than like I'm not like a genius or intelligent. I'm just careful with, and I probably miss out on some opportunities too because of
I
that.
was gonna ask you that. Like, do you feel like maybe
I had a
that?
chance to work with Cool G Rap, but it would have been a huge risk, and I didn't take it. And I think I made the right move. Let's put it that way. Let's say
Okay.
had I taken that risk, I think it would have been a negative outcome. But other than that, I'm drawing a blank on risks.
No, that's cool. I mean, no, that's
Oh, I got one for you. Marrying my ex-wife. So she kind of took it to me at the divorce when I filed for divorce. But she's a great
Ooh.
mother. Shout out to Young Bangas' mother, man.
Absolutely.
Nah,
Much love.
that
No,
rocks as a
I,
person.
no, I understand. I understand. Like, hey, look. I mean, the thing is that sometimes people. Yeah, knowing and the fact that you can speak that highly of her, as far as a mother, and you
Right.
guys can work together as parents, man, that's all that fucking matters,
That's
right?
what matters, bro.
Right? Like, like we can agree that, hey, man, this probably isn't a good thing, and not only for you and I's mental health, but also in
The
uh
kid.
the kid, right? The
Yeah,
person that's the most important part here, right? Let's just do our best to make sure that we do our best to make it the best as possible for them.
exactly.
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 Yeah. So salute to you guys on doing that, and that shows a lot of you know emotional and like wisdom, like knowledge and that shit to a lot of vulnerability and also collaboration.
Collaboration's a good word. Yes.
Collaboration and what do you say? I'm trying to think of the word where you compromise.
Compromise. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
When's figure out when to take stand on the hill and when to to give a little, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And sometimes a lot of times you might get that wrong.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I have.
Oh, I'm just saying I was speaking for myself, not for you. It's like, oh.
Oh, well, I agree. I'm in the same boat on that. So,
Yeah, man. So we've got some questions that we definitely want to get to in regards to. I'm trying to figure out. We're on a new platform, and yeah, I got it now. Let's see here. So I know, for instance, you had mentioned that there was a question you had saw about how you linked up with Bobo on Cypress Hill.
Mhm.
That was a question that I actually wanted to ask in regards to, could you please tell us about the Empires project and how that came together? Because I myself and the family and how this all started and came about, also that I didn't tell you about earlier, was through the Cypress Hill community and everything like that.
Oh,
I've
dope, man.
always been a huge part of the community, and that family tree is huge to me. I
That's
interviewed Be
awesome.
Real as my first guest this year. So
Oh,
yeah,
sick, dude.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, been listening to them since
The
the
beginning.
first title album. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and I knew about Bobo because I was a Beastie Boys fan too, and he had a track on Ill Communication called "Bobo in the Corner," where he played,
Yeah.
on that album, which is legendary. So I've known about this cat. So, bro, when he hit me up, because he heard Cannibal Hulk and he was feeling it, and he reached out to me. I'm like, it was kind of like when Drez from Black Sheep reached out to me. Like, I'm like, damn, all right, wow, okay, yes, let's work. And he was like, I want to do a whole album with you. Like, you make your beat, like you make it, and then send me the stems, and I'm gonna add what I add. I'm like, dude, say less. And I got so just get to network with so many people and both like the nicest dude, man. Like
Amazing.
he brought me and my son gives it multiple times VIP tickets to their shows, like the one they just did with the orchestra.
Yeah.
My parents really wanted to see that because the orchestra. My dad's like, that'd be cool. I'm like, Bobo, can we get in? Yeah, say less. And then get to meet them and stuff. It's just like the nicest cats, man. And Bobo's like, he's just like, I consider him a friend now, kind of like that. He's like a friend. And so yeah, so he hit me up after Cannibal Hulk. We did that project. It got good reception on it, and he and I we did an album with Psycho Les together from Beat Nuts that hasn't come out yet. We dropped a few songs.
Ooh.
We got more, and then we did some stuff with Goody Mob. Also, we're kind of like mixing down, tweaking down. The thing with working with Bobo is he's tours a lot. Cypress Hill tours a lot.
Yes.
So you gotta get in when he's got time, and he's also like his mother's getting up there in age. He helps out with her, so shout
Yeah.
out to Bobo's mom. And so he's busy, but so we got another project coming that like I wish I could talk about, but I can't say it yet.
Understood. And
But
well,
yeah,
does it have anything to do with, because one of the questions that was asked was, and maybe you can just, maybe this is the alluding, is there any futures with a new Empires or a
yeah, but
continuation?
it's like it is, but it's like with one specific rapper.
Got it.
That's like
Understood.
I'm pretty excited about. Yeah,
Say less.
yeah.
Uh,
And I got to
but
shout out my man Art from he's a weed guy. Like he runs a weed business. He invested in that project. So much love to Art, man. So yeah,
much love the art.
yeah,
Salute
good
to
dude
the
right there.
investment. I had to stop the press, but I didn't want to interrupt you. Like you mentioned working with Goody Mob, and one of the things that I have a love for is I have a love for all coasts. Like I'm not a snob in regards like, oh, it has to be backpack, it has to be boom bap, or it has to be this or that and that, what, no. And like I like golden era stuff, I'll be clear. But not to say that I don't like everything, but you mentioned you working with Goody Mob. Now, Goody Mob Soul Food is a perfect album, right? And even I mean, all of I love Goody Mob. I love all of the work. CeeLo is a fucking cute, just a amazing artist,
Oh yeah,
period.
oh
Like artist.
yeah, yeah.
Like not just an MC. He's an ill ass MC
He
and
made
caught
hits.
me.
He made hits, man.
But I mean, from Get Up, Get Out, and Get Something, from the very first time I heard Get Up, Get Out, and Get Something, and that was like my first exposure off of Outkast's first album, right?
Mm.
And it was like, who is this, right? And who are these guys?
Right.
And then they put out Soul Food. How in the hell did that project link up, and how much are you able to talk about on that?
Yeah, that was through Bobo because he's real tight with Cujo and from Goody Mob. So it's with him, but he's got some people featured on it, from the rest of the group. And where we are on that, I'd say 9 or 10 songs deep. And then Cujo hit me up, like, I can talk about this like a week ago, a week or two ago, like, yo, Stu, what's up? Like, what we want to drop, when we want to drop this, you want to drop a song? I'm like, let me hit a Bobo. I hit a Bobo. And he's like, then now they're talking, and he's like, all right, Stu, send him some more beats. Let's knock out like 2 or 3 more songs. And now Bobo today, and I'm like, all right, say less. And then now Bobo's asking me for the stems, so he's working on his parts for it. But yeah, Cujo's laid like 8 or 9 vocals for full songs, and I'm pretty. CeeLo will be on there, and yeah, so it's exciting. And then shout out to Cujo, he bought one of my son's beats too and put out a song over it too.
I know he did.
So yeah, that dude's just cool as shit, man. You just meet some.
Cujo is one of the founding members, is like kind of that people don't know, but like Cujo is kind of the heart and soul of Goody Mob. Like
Nicest dude you ever meet too, for real.
yeah, his story is amazing, and what he's fought through, even with losing a leg, and
Yeah,
like everything that cat's like. He seems like he's an amazing cat. Like those guys are bucket list interviews too. So shout out to the Goody Mob,
I can
man.
link you with Cujo if you want.
Hell yeah, bro. Like that's listen.
I'm sure he would. I'm sure he would be down to do it. He's cool as hell, man.
Yeah, man. Like, we do, like, this is what we do. We just talk about, we talk about hip hop and the love of hip hop, and whatever.
Yeah, I'll link you
I
guys on Instagram. You can take it from there.
oh, thank you. I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, dude.
Now, talking about the things that you have in the future, like, but we didn't get a chance to talk about even further with chemistry, and or like you just put out in November, at the end of November, you put out, you know, the whole project with Afro, and you've got such a group of, you put out music at a furious pace. It's like you never stop. You never stop.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm just like, I think like in this day and age, you kind of, if you want to, how can I say this without? Yeah, you just want to keep working. And so shout out to Fro. He's a good kid, man. He's very talented. We got more stuff coming. We just dropped a thing with Words. Bernadette Price, Sean Price's widow. We got an album dropping in this month in March. We're in March now. On Duck Down, that's done. I really like the way that came out. She's doing her thing. Like, she stepped her bars up, her flows that right there. We dropped the first song. We got a lot of love on like all the social media sites and on YouTube for that. Then I'm really excited about this in April. Shout out to my man Joe. He used to own Fat Beats. He started a new imprint, and then we got an album. I've got an album with AG from DITC coming out on that,
Wow.
and he's got like Diamond D on it, Sadat X, Corey Guns, and I just love, like, that's what I want. Like, I just love the way the album sounds, so I can't wait for people to hear it, and I'm just really proud of how that came out, and so yeah, and then the thing with I got to shout out my man. Someone said from VA in the chat, my man Born Unique from VA. If you don't know who this dude is, go check him out if you like grimy, like lyrical rap. The dude is nasty, man. He's like, he's just like, he's a street dude. He's a white dude. Someone said in one of the things, "Oh, Abe Lincoln spitting," because he's got like the beard and like, but he's nasty, man, and he's
Right on.
ridiculous. So working with him, and then the things with Bobo, the one I can't talk about that I'm like really excited for, like that's coming out. First song should drop 420. So yeah, just trying to stay busy, man, and hitting the gym, doing the music, raising my son, and that's, life is good, God willing, So yeah,
Hey, man, and that's all that it is, man. For you to be able to find a way to do what it is that you love to do and be rewarding, and making living and be able to just be you, right? Because nobody can be you but you. Remember that and be you. Don't be afraid to be you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Just be good. Just be good, man.
Yeah, man.
Especially in a world nowadays where it's scary.
Yeah, it's getting crazy, man. It really is, dude.
It's very scary. To get back to Midget Mike had a question. Stu, do you have songs in the vault with features you have that are fire but you don't want to put out, or maybe even can't put out?
Yeah, so there's a cat from AOTP named Self-Titled, and he hit
Oh,
me up.
self-titles is like we're big fans of like all of AOTP. Like say like everybody you fucks with, trust me, we all fucks with here. So
Oh,
you,
yeah.
like we know who self-titled is for real.
Yeah, so he's like, and he's a good
Legend.
dude. He's a good dude too, man. Shout out Self. He hit me
Yeah.
up. We've been working together on AOTP stuff and apathy stuff for years, but he was like, "Yo, let's do a whole album." I'm like, "Okay," and then he announced it and everything. He recorded what 4 songs to it, and they're just ridiculous, bro. And then he just stopped, and then it's like I get hit up like at least once a week. Yo, Stu, when is that coming out? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I gotta talk to him, bro. So I wish we could put those songs out. I was like, I hit him up even like, yo, why don't we just drop the singles, bro? Fuck it. But he's, I don't know. I'm waiting on him. And then Sick Jackin and myself, Sick from Psycho Realm, same thing. He hit me up and because of working with Bobo, and we got a bunch of songs done. But it's kind of like I'm just waiting on them. But I got the tracks, so like I would love to like put those out, but like
Yeah.
I can't, you know. And then my man RJ Payne, shout out Payne, he's another good dude. He's very very talented, and we got some songs. We're working on a project with him and Rock from Helter Skelter. It's kind of stalled a bit in the progress, but the songs they did it's just crazy, man. Like those dudes are nasty. So I would
They
say those
are.
are the top of the 3. Oh, and it would shout out to rest in peace, Chino XL, man. Another dude that was like a friend, even outside of music, because like we just had a lot in common, the gym, all that shit, and I've been working with him for over 10 years. We are working on a second God's Carpenter 2. We've got a lot of stuff that was unreleased and just trying to avoid all the like weird stuff online where people are like saying all this weird stuff on accounts. So I'm waiting till that kind of gets worked out. Hopefully it does, because I don't want people trying to like come at me, because I know what I do is legit, and I don't move funny, man. I keep it real, man. Like I keep it 100. But I don't want someone coming out of. Some people are weird, and I don't want any funny stuff being said. So till that when that gets figured out on their end, then it's gonna come out, and I'm tweaking it right now, adding a couple of features, but I'm really happy with the way that sounds too. So
Dope.
yeah.
Uh, we've got David Scott has a question for you. It says, "Is Stu a minimalist producer? I always see him rocking on the MPC One Plus. Does he use other gear in pre-production at all?" And I think we kind of answered that question. But is there any other gear that you use pre-production?
If it's a sample that I made myself, it would be using. I've got a MIDI keyboard, and then I've got Logic Pro, which is a program where you can get sounds from, and your MIDI keyboard controls the say less. And then so if I'm making my own sample, then I'm using that to make pretty much the whole sample. And
Oh,
but it's like I'm not gonna like I don't know. I would do the beat videos because something kind of cool to do online on Instagram and shit like that. But I don't feel like there's a way for me to, because I think again, like I do it, like I got a chords chart where I look at, all right, this is a chord. I can't play, but I can get it. I can do
you
chord
have an
progression.
ear.
Yes, it's not a fun process to watch or like me do it. So I use that as well, or it's just or it's just the MPC One Plus. Aside from that, if I'm sampling, I get my
Yeah.
samples, throw in there, and I got my go to drums. I'm using a break if I'm using individual sounds, and I got my basses. I always gotta have some thick bass in there, and then so yeah, pretty minimal though. Yeah,
Dope.
yeah, man.
Gotcha. And then we got Gorilla Strong, Stu. Favorite version of Hulk?
Oh man. That's tough, bro. I like the Gray Hulk, bro.
The Gray Hulk.
Yo, I like that. Joe Fixit, is that what they call him?
I don't remember the Gray Hulk. I'm trying here, sitting here, think like the Gray
Yeah.
Hulk.
Yeah,
Man.
I had a run of the Hulk because I bought a bunch of Hulk comic books after when I got older off eBay. And there
Yeah.
was I don't remember how he turned gray or why, but is that what he's called? Immortal Hulk? Is that what the Gray Hulk was called?
I
Immortal Hulk?
got you. Immortal Hulk is what Gorilla said. Yes.
Joe
Joe
Fixit was a
was a
gangster.
gangster.
Is Joe Fixit the gray one? Because honestly, I don't know, but that's my favorite. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Gray Hulk, let's fucking go, man. That was I thought he was badass. Yeah. Oh, you said Immortal's his favorite. Okay, cool. That's my favorite. Yeah.
Gotcha. Right
Yeah.
on. Gotcha. Let's see here. I think, what was the first vinyl that you bought with your own money?
First vinyl I bought with my own money. I don't remember the exact first one, but I will tell you one that was most impactful for me as far as making beats, and it was early on. It wasn't like a record that I sampled. It was Alchemist's instrumental album, which they used like, if anyone knows what KPM library records are, it was like music made for soundtrack shows, things of that nature. A lot of people, producers were sampling those back in like late 90s, early 2000s. And Alchemist made a thing called ALC Music Library. And it was gangster themed instrumentals. And he had like beats called like The Basics, which is off of Tony Touch album. Prodigy was rapping on that. But he had the instrumentals for like 10 different songs. And that was the first time I heard Alchemist. And I was just like, wow, dude. The way he had the bass hitting with his kicks and the snares. And I was like, that was one of the main things that got me motivated to make my beats a certain way.
I got you.
So that was an influential piece, and I had it on vinyl. Yeah. So the same cat that taught me how to chop samples was like, "Yo, check this out, check this," because I didn't know who Alchemist was. I don't think he had just worked with Mob on the Murder Music album.
Okay.
You know, and he had worked with Dilated, but I wasn't really checking for them yet at that point. So that on vinyl was like a big thing for me. Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
And then Midget Mike says, Stu, do you have one rapper you would love to work with and make a whole album with? I guess that you have not done yet. If you had like a collaboration that you would put in the air and you
more than one, but I'll say Conway. He's my favorite out of Griselda. And it was like, he posted a video when Sean Price had already passed, but his album with Illa G came out. They did together, and it was over my beat. And Conway posted a video of him listening to it in the car to that song, and he was like, "Oh," like making the stink face, and I was like, "Yo, that was my beat, bro!" Like, but it's like it ain't gonna go nowhere, you know. At one time, Rome Streets hit me up, but nothing happened. But Conway, he's just ridiculous. Like, I like Benny too, but Conway for me. Yeah, man. He's fucking nasty, dude.
Conway, if you happen to see this, because we'll probably clip. I'll make it a point just to clip it and tag you, Conway. I mean, come on, man. Brutal music. There needs to be a come on, man. Listen, there should be like Griselda shit. If anybody sounds would come on, man, a Griselda project, a whole Griselda project with Stu Bangas, man. Come on, man.
Oh man. Guy can dream, man.
Hey, look, this is a dream. This is a dream right here. It was all a dream. And look, all I can say is if you work towards it and you put your mind to it and you do believe, and there's law of attraction and all of these different things, what you think and what you dwell on is what you attract, because you just naturally start putting, your brain is going to start looking for things, because we were talking about patterns.
Manifest it. He said it.
Absolutely. Yep. Manifest it for sure. And it'll happen. And me being able to talk to you the day after I turned 50, I mean, this was, again, thank you, Gorilla Strong, for linking us up. And most importantly, thank you for accepting and being gracious enough to take time out on a Monday night, which I know Monday Night Raw and all types of stuff is getting
Yeah, but
ready
I
to
can
sit.
catch it. We can catch it on delay and fast forward through the BS.
Okay, all right, okay.
I
Because I
appreciate
mean,
you having me on, man. For real, man.
no, dude, this has been an honor, man, and like I hope that you feel comfortable enough to come back on
Oh
anytime,
yeah.
because like anytime you make a release, and like we like to do special listening parties and you know, album release parties and events, and we've done that with a couple of artists, and we had a album release party with Destruct, and Rocka was on it,
Oh,
and
sick.
you know, yeah, dude, it's like there's a lot of stuff that we do with this platform, and I'm pretty much open. Like I am trying to schedule content Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even Saturdays and Sundays if it has to. But like trying to make this you know, at least more than once a week platform and interview and stuff like that. And also I DJ. So you guys that are watching this, if you follow me on Twitch at GhostBoogie66, you can check out exclusives. I do mixes and mashes and blends. I have relearned how to DJ. DJing was how I learned, like was the first step in my road to recovery and making myself stand up and do things. But I had lost all feelings in my hand, and that because of neck and fighting and weightlifting and all types of football and shit like that. But I'm starting to get my fingers back. But I taught myself how to DJ with actually no fingers, but I still don't have as much. So I'm not a cutter, but I'm a blender and I'm a mashupper. So I like, that's my shit. So I'm always doing live mashups and impromptu blends. I take your requests and do it. But I do exclusive B-boy sets, and I might do one after this show in between my next podcast. That'll be starting up, that you might know as podcast. That'll be starting up here later on at 11:20 p.m. Eastern. So grab your favorite plant, grab your favorite liquid. That was born out of the Cypress Hill community.
Oh,
That was the first podcast that, you know, we all did that from. But yeah, man, like this has been a big journey, and you being on my platform and being gracious enough to do this, because a lot of times these artists out here, folks, they charge money to be on, and I'm not even monetized. So like my channel's not even monetized, fam. I'm not even making a lick of money on the channel.
yeah,
So we're doing this for the love, and you did this for the love and
yeah,
in
man.
respect of supporting an independent platform like myself. So from one independent to another that is trying to get in your position, because you've got it, you know, going on and you're doing it well. And shout out to my new partner, City Media Group, and just everything has been great. So again, thank you so much for being on here. Do you have anything else you want to say or do before we get up out of here, man?
Nah, man, just shout to everyone. Shout out to you for having me on. I appreciate you guys for the platform. And shout out to everyone, I call my Brutal Music fam, that's supporting everything I drop. And without y'all, I couldn't keep this going. So thank all of y'all, man. So that's it. And yeah, there we go.
Follow Brutal Music, and they can check out you and get anything. Like, hold on, because you do have some stuff that's on the website right now
Mm-hmm.
that you have that are very, very limited numbers. Like you only have a couple copies left, and they're signed things that I wish that I had the funds. So I don't want to let y'all know about, but I want y'all to know about the fact that you can talk about some of the ill shit that you got on your website right now that they can purchase right now.
Yeah, brutalmusic.org. And then, yeah, we just got pretty much most of the albums I've dropped on vinyl. Some of them are sold out, but if you check out brutalmusic.org, you might find something you like. So check it out.
Assigned test pressing. They have a signed test pressing of him and Eric Bobo.
Yes, we do have, I think, 2 left. So
I
anyone
know.
That's interesting.
Two. There's only two left. There's only two left. And yeah. I saw that. I was like, ooh, that's a nice one right there, fam. So look, go there. There's all types of stuff that I know. Everybody that's on B-Boys Underground, you're going to see something and want something. So please support the homie.
I'm laughing at the comments. So
yeah, send me my shit. Oh yeah, I know. Like that's Midget Mike. he's that's my homie, man. He loves busting balls, and that's what we do here. So
yeah,
mad love. And so everybody keep it positive, keep pushing, keep persevering. B-Boys Underground. We are off this Wednesday. My wife's having surgery tomorrow. So no more B-Boys Underground this week. We'll be back next week. Anything else you got to say, Sue?
That's it, man. Peace.
All right, peace. We up out of here, y'all. Much love.
Word.
And we are off. Cool. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you as well. Likewise, man.
Did you enjoy the format?
Oh yeah, man. We should do it again sometime. That was awesome.
Would you feel comfortable coming back?